Really? 80 degrees inside with 80% humidity? It's only June. Welcome to the Flash Performance Garage, where my fan has failed me. Yeah, that's not really that it's failed me. I mean, it still works and it moves air around. It just doesn't cool the room. And my shop is not huge, but I can't afford air conditioning for it right now, and I need a better solution. A lot of times I've been doing work outside on bigger vehicles as well, and I wanted to have something to be able to cool the space that I'm in. And if you haven't seen them yet, there's a phenomenal product called an evaporative cooler that I just got, and I want to show you. I am over the top excited to finally have one of these in my shop. It's been something I've been looking at for a while, but I haven't really pulled the trigger on it until recently. This is an evaporative cooler. This is from OEM Tools, and you can get this from your local AutoZone or even buy it on Amazon. I am burning up. So let's get this thing opened up and I'll show you what's inside. This is a 3-speed evaporative cooler. It is pre-assembled and ready to operate. Simply remove the package and then carefully remove the unit from the box. Install the casters. Casters are located in the compartment on the bottom of the cooler. Notice that I put the 2 locking wheels on one end. Whenever you stand it up, make sure you lock those down so it doesn't try and roll away from you. Evaporative cooler, how does it work? Well, there's a fan right here on the front, and this has a 3-speed low, medium, high, and that fan will draw air in, and then you will see on the side and on the back that there's a cardboard looking mesh. At the very bottom of the unit, you'll notice that there is a little door that we can hold water. That water is pumped to the top and runs down this cardboard mesh, pulling air through and getting the cooling effect. So basically the water will draw the heat out of the air and blow that through the room to be able to essentially drop the air temperature. Now, reading through the instructions, one of the big things about this unit is you don't want to use it in a confined location. If you use it in a confined location, so no doors are open or no windows, it will raise the humidity in the room. However, if you're using this in a location near a window or have a door open, it'll constantly draw fresh air in and keep cooling that air, cycling that air through so you won't have the humidity coming through and building up and making it worse inside your shop. One of the big things also when you read through the instructions is to let the fan blow for 30 minutes after the unit has been used. So we want to turn the pump off, let the fan blow, and what that'll do is that'll dry out all this cardboard so we don't have water setting on it. Water setting on it creates mold, mold creates problems. So make sure that you run that fan for 30 minutes after you use it. Now, we talked about the reservoir down here at the bottom, and you can fill that up using a bucket, or there is also a, lost it, where'd it go? There it is, right there. There's also a hose bib here on the side, so you can connect your hose to it and leave that hose connected all the time. That way it never runs out of water as the water evaporates through. It also comes with a GFCI plug because we are near water, so we need to make sure that we protect ourselves. So the GFCI plug is built into the unit. On top of the unit, there are some little trays for knickknacks. While you're working on something and you need a place to hide your tools and set your tools, it works as an extra table as well. The tank that holds the water is a sealed tank. You can't really take it out. But if you need to clean it out, maybe you're getting some musty smell or something like that, you can put a small dash of bleach into the water tank, and that will kill any bacteria that's in there. Now, caution to that, don't dump a bunch of bleach in there expecting it to clean everything up, because it will smoke you out. You don't want to be breathing that stuff, so just a little bit will go a long way. I went ahead and picked up one of these RV water filters because I do live on a property that has a well, and my water is very sediment heavy and very iron heavy. So I'm going to use this on my faucet. I'm going to connect my hose to the evaporative cooler. That way I do get to filter out some of the water before it goes into the tank, and that should solve a lot of the issues that I may have with getting sediment stuck in the bottom of the tank. I'm going to go ahead and take my hose and connect it directly to the water outlet, and they did provide a swivel on there, so that makes it much easier to connect your garden hose directly to that. Again, going through the filter on the other side. Now there is an on-off valve in here, so as that fills up the tank, that valve will float and that will stop the flow of water coming through. So we don't have to worry about overfilling the tank. It will automatically create its own level all the time. So if we have a hose hooked to it, we can just leave it on there and it will always have it full. While that's filling up the reservoir tank, this is just a 120 volt outlet, normal plug into the wall. So let me get a cord and plug this in. Now that my tank is completely full, I can remove the hose from it. You don't have to leave the hose on there. That tank will actually last quite a while, so you don't have to have it on there all the time. So you can use this even in locations where you don't have access to a hose for the water. You can, as long as you have electricity, you can fill that tank up with water right there at the bottom and you are good to go. So reading through the instructions and doing research on these units, whenever you first start them up, you're going to have a little bit of a smell, and that's actually the epoxy and the glue that is used to make the cardboard stick together. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and turn it on. That is low speed fan right there, and it's pretty quiet. If we want to put a high speed fan on, we can hear it a little better. And that is moving some air. We are going to go ahead and fire up the pump, and we'll start seeing water. So the machine is still running and you can barely hear it. One of the things that I actually loved about this machine and why I chose it, some of the other machines that I looked at, the fan condensed down so small that it was moving tons of air, but it would be so loud so you couldn't hardly hear yourself when you're working. And I like to work with the radio on or being able to talk to people as we go. But also notice that this whole back end is covered with that cardboard, but also the side and the other side. So we have tons of surface area to be able to make that evaporative cooling work. That fan can pull from all directions to be able to come out the other end. Now on the fan side, currently I have it turned off, but there is a sweep function. So if we turn the knob up here on the top to sweep, that will sweep that fan to be able to go back and forth and cover a lot more surface area. So overall, a pretty quiet machine. It's running. Not super loud, but it's going to make a big difference in the shop. So this unit that I got is the part number 23977, and it's about 5,300 CFM of fan speed, and it's made to cool down about 1,600 square feet. They make ones that are bigger and smaller depending on how big of an area you're trying to cool. My main goal was not to cool the whole shop down. My main goal was to cool the area down that I was working in, whether it be inside or outside. I actually have some big plans. I'm doing a booth space this year at one of our local festivals, and I'm going to bring this guy with me to keep my booth space cool and bring in the customers at the same time. So make sure you check them out. This is from OEM Tools. Part number 23977 is the one that I chose. You can get it on Amazon or even at your local AutoZone store. I'll put a link in the description below if it's something you want to learn more about. I'm Chad from Flash Performance. Stay cool. We'll see you next time.